Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got some Semlac today. We've got Blue Cloud 386 to play about with, and we also have Naoko, and it's just this darker kind of purpley blue shade. It's 1413. Really like it. It fitted in so nicely with today's nail design. So for today, I picked out a stamping plate from Moyou London actually, and the vibe from that plate, I was getting kind of like a frosty, cracked ice design from it. So you know when you've got, like, for example, when your windows are so cold that the ice is on there and then it starts cracking up and all of that kind of stuff. So that was kind of the idea behind today's video. I often like to recommend people when they get new stamping plates and they're kind of finding it difficult to figure out a nail design, go search up the plate, see what others have done, even see what the company itself have done. That's why I like Maniology a lot, because they do a lot of content on YouTube, and on their actual website they do include a lot of nail design ideas, which I think is so great. I love when companies do that because it can be really difficult. I have so many plates and about probably 50% of them haven't been touched just purely because I'm struggling to do something with them. It's so crazy because when you buy them, they look beautiful and they end up being so hard to use. So that's why I'm trying to use as many stamping plates as I possibly can in videos to help you guys figure it out and get you guys inspired to stamp and see what, you know, you can do with stamping plates. So here I've got some glitter. I'm going to sprinkle it on. This one's from Larissi. I will have a link in the description. I believe it saves you guys about 30% off, I think. So I think 30. I could be wrong, but it saves you something for sure. I'll have it linked in the description. They're amazing. Go check them out. Super affordable. I love them to pieces. I really like this shade. It's like a turquoise ocean blue shade. So this is the stamping plates. Love it. It's a snow collection, plate number 4, and we're going to focus on the bottom right hand side where we've got the cracked ice, and here's my clear jelly stamper, and it's just one of their snowflake ones. It's beautiful. I love this one. We're going to use a little bit of the snowflakes today as well. You don't have to, you can stick to just the Moyou plate really, because there's some snowflakes on there too, so you could just focus on there. And we're using some Born Pretty White and a Moyou London Blue stamping polish there as well. So today we are going to kind of layer stamp. So we're going to start off with this blue here. I'm going to use my Moyou London stamper as well, and we're going to focus on stamping on the 2 lighter nails, so the 2 lighter baby blue shaded nails. So this is the cracked ice idea. I've actually found this nail design from Moyou actually. So the way that they've kind of advertised this plate, they do sometimes include designs, not always the best. I don't fully like the nail designs that they sometimes do with their plates. I don't feel like it sells the plate well compared to other companies, but to find this one actually helped me out a lot, funny enough. So what they did here is they stamped a darker blue. They used slightly different colours, but I wanted to do a bit more of like a lighter vibe. I think they used quite darker shades. So you're doing it on both. So I'm only going to show you me doing it on one, but I've done the other one off camera already, chilling in the background. And now going in with some white. Picking that up, placing it down on the nail as well. But this is, this can be a little bit hard because you want to place it in a slightly different way so that you can have the darker blue seeping through. So you just kind of have to position it where you think, so you have to give it a little minute, place it down. So there we are. So we have some of the blue. I would prefer a bit more of the blue seeping through that we already placed down, but you're gonna have to work with what you got. So this is all I had. This is the best I could have done, and I feel like it still came out pretty well. So you need to double stamp that, and like I said, we're going to also recreate it on the other nail. Once again, I don't think I left that in the video. Cut it out. It's the exact same thing going on. No need to show you guys twice. And yeah, so stamp it down, and then we've got 2 fully cracked up ice nails done there. I think those are really cool looking. Really cool. I struggled with the crystal placement today, but if you end up recreating it, let me know what you do with your crystal placement, because yeah, I really struggled. So now that that's done, we're going in with a matte top coat, and we're going to matte top coat all those nails already. And the reason is because I needed to have some help with the nail art that we're going to do on those darker full cover nails in a second, which you will see. And the matte top coat I'm using is from Vanillisa. I'm going to pop into that for 60 seconds. I like to matte top coat. Well, I like to overkill my top coats for some reason. Always. So I'm just going to pop it for 60 seconds. And for those darker blue nails, we are going to do some sweater look vibe on there, and we're going to stamp on that one as well with the snowflakes actually later on. So pop it into the lamp, and then this is what they're going to look like. There we are. All nice and matte. So these two are going to be identical but kind of flipped. So I'm going in with that same colour with my nail art brush, and I'm going to draw a line from the top left to the bottom right, just slightly below, and I'm going to do the same on the other nail but the other flipped way round, if that makes sense. You see that in just a second. So once you've drawn your first line, you're going to do this very slanted, loose looking S, and you're going to follow that. You don't have to do it like loosely like I am. You can just do one of those sharp edged S's that people do for sweaters, but I really wanted to do like a loose little delicate vibe, so that's what we're doing. And then once you've done those, you want to finish it off with another line underneath it, and then once you do that, we want to sprinkle on some clear acrylic. So the clear acrylic I'm using is from Glitterbels. I bought it ages ago. It's probably one of the most biggest acrylic pots I've ever had and it's gonna last me so long, I'm sure. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on. So the reason I wanted to do it this way was because once I get this down, I want to stamp half of a snowflake underneath this, and without having this done, I didn't know where I'm going to stamp it. If you've got a good if you're good at envisioning your nail art designs, you can actually get away with this. You can probably stamp half of your snowflake down first and then do the lines on top of it. But I wanted it to do it this way, I guess. I done it the harder way. So I'm going to show you guys me doing just the one. The other one will be done off camera. And then once we've done the sprinkle it on the clear acrylic, you want to sprinkle it on until you stop seeing the gel polish being shiny. That's when you know it's enough. Pop it into the lamp. I want to usually like to double cure it just to make sure everything's cured, as you've got two different products in one basically there. So I want to double cure that. There we are. And then once it's cured, I like to use a brush to get rid of any of the excess in between. There we are, there's the two nails done. So now, funny enough, we're going in with a base coat. So stamping on this matte top coat in particular, I struggle, it just won't transfer. I don't know whether it's just the matte top coat itself. I know that I watch Talia Nail Studio a lot. She's an amazing YouTuber. You should all go check her out, especially for the stamping content she does. Beautiful, amazing stuff. I love her. I'd love to meet her one day. She's amazing. And she's a Canadian YouTuber, and she often, I've noticed, stamps on the matte top coat, which just doesn't work for me. I wonder if it's literally the matte top coat I use in particular, but I'm going to use a base coat because I want it to be tacky so that when I stamp, it just sticks down. So I've cured it, and now it's time for the snowflake. I'm going to use the exact same snowflakes on both of those nails, and yeah, but just kind of flipped, just like the whole vibe of those two nails. They're identical but flipped. So here's the snowflake I decided to pick out, and I'm just getting rid of half of it with my scraper, and then I'm going to stamp it so it kind of connects to that sweater vibe that we've done. There we are. Just place it down. Just taking my time. There we are. And then I'm going to pick out one more snowflake and a bit more of a smaller one just to kind of fit down the bottom. So I think pick that one. Yep. And then when we flip it on the other nail, so if I'm placing the snowflake, the small one, on the left hand side of the nail we're working on now, the other nail will have it on the right hand side, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna stamp it. There we are, but when it's a clear stamp, you can actually see what I'm doing, which is so fun. There we are, so I'm going to repeat it on the other nail as well. Here we are, and then using some of the white Unbelievable gel from Glitterbels, I'm just going to whack on some dots, because you know me, there's never enough. It has to be more concentrated, fuller looking. There has to be just so much more going on. So I'm just going to whack on some dots, some cluster dots, some 3 together, just one individual, some 2 dots, anything like that, just to cover it up a bit more, add a bit more of something going on there. So I'm going to do it on both of those nails. Then you want to go ahead and cure it. Remember, you need to cure it for 60 seconds. It's a very pigmented gel polish, and it just needs some extra cure just to cure it in place. And then lastly, we're going to have to matte top coat again over those because we want those matte. You could have it glossy actually, which could look quite cool, but I wanted it matte. So I'm just going over that. You want to really make sure you don't get any of that matte top coat on the sweater vibe that we've created at the top. And once we're happy, it's time for our crystal placement. Very simple today, nothing crazy going on. I really struggled to combine the crystal placements today. So for the snowflake nails here, I'm only going to place a clear crystal in the center of the 2 snowflakes on both of the nails we've done. And I feel like I wish I used a larger clear crystal. I feel like the crystals I use are a little bit too small, especially for that bigger crystal right there. I feel like that crystal just kind of disappeared in that big snowflake, but we're doing the same on this one as well. And then we've got one more crystal placement on one of those cracked up ice nail designs going on, and that's probably the one that I'm just the most unhappy with. It's probably because there was kind of a lot going on as it was, and I was just desperate to add crystals. I just didn't want them to be bare and boring, but I just felt like the crystal placement didn't really do it for me. But we ended up picking up a snowflake charm for this nail in particular, and then I just did a simple tiara vibe crystal placement right at the top of the nail, and that was about it. Nothing too crazy. Probably, I feel like I really wanted to use some blue crystals, which I did have, but at the time I just didn't feel like they fitted in, and maybe they did, who knows. But yeah, so if you end up recreating this and you do a different crystal placement, show me, please, tag me. I really want to see them, because yeah, I just wasn't feeling it today. So just a simple, I didn't even add any caviar beads. You could if you wanted to. It would have had that extra little touch to it, make it look really pretty. I love adding caviar beads. It really does change and make a difference. So do try and incorporate them if you want that little difference there. And then, well, like I said, the snowflake around the center, and that's it. That's literally it for the crystal placement. So for all my girlies out there that don't like a lot of crystals, this one's probably for you. There's not a lot going on, or you don't like recreating with crystals. This is literally not much going on. And here's the final result. So I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you think of it. I feel like it's a bit of a different set. Not quite sure what I think about it, but you do please let me know in the comments what you think about it. I'd love to hear it. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!